Astros win their 6th straight. The road trip off to a good start. They beat another frontline starter in Lucas Giolito, and 2 first-inning home runs hold up. Angels take Game 1 over the White Sox 5-1. Welcome to Angels Live. Got a little dicey there, certainly at the end, as we welcome you in studio. Alongside Denny Hocking, I'm Steve Quis, and as we mentioned, a little dicey at the end, but boy, Noah Syndergaard gets scratched, right, a few hours before the ball game. The youngster learns 2 hours ahead of time he's going to make a spot opening start there, and they still get it done 5-1.
Sometimes you're going to have to deal with some adversity, you know? So Noah Syndergaard couldn't do it. Hey, no problem. Jimmy Herget, take the ball. Just go out there and just dominate. The most impressive thing for me today, looking back at this game, Steve, really was the Angels relievers being starters, retiring 18 in a row at one point. That was most impressive.
Certainly a lot to unpack here, and we were on the pregame show. We talked about everything working in concert for the first 5 games, right? Starting pitching, relief pitching, hitting, and of course, Taylor Ward has been a big part now of this 6-game winning streak. And for more on that, let's go back out to Guaranteed Rate Field, talk to the 2 gentlemen who called it, Patrick O'Neill and Mark Gubicza.
Steve Quis and Denny Hocking, you guys got it on lockdown back in the studio. Thanks very much. Yeah, maybe a little dicey late. That's okay. They got it done. You have to bring Iglesias in. But, yeah, we'll talk Taylor Ward. Why not? Leading off with a home run solo shot, a late RBI double. What can you say? I mean, it's just awesome. I believe he could do it every single game.
I mean, he's just so comfortable and so confident in the batter's box. He had a home run off of Lucas Giolito on a curveball, which doesn't happen too often against Giolito. He just stayed back on it and drives it out right away. And just got a courtesy look out in left field by Andrew Vaughn, because that baseball got out in a hurry. He's got 5 home runs on the season. He's got 13 RBIs, 3 doubles. He got a double, an RBI later on. But I just love just the way he took that cowboy hat off and says, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Taylor Ward.
Yeah, he just
don't forget that.
He looked at it and he stared you down right there in your living room.
Yes.
And he deserved it. It's a lot of fun. There's a great vibe around this team. We see it on the team plane, on the bus, in the lobby. It really is something special. And the pitching was certainly great. Ohtani going deep.
But I love his effort, just driving the ball, going the other way. That baseball got out quickly, left center field. That was a great swing by Shohei.
Yeah, but Gooby, how about the pitchers that the Angels are beating? I mean, they beat Giolito, they beat Quantrill, they beat Bieber. They're taking down some of the best arms in the game.
And remember they won that series down in Houston to get everything rolling before having a tough little stretch in 2 games against Baltimore. But they're playing exceptionally well. They're doing everything. Defense, Anthony Rendon, those plays at third base are unbelievable. Mike Trout in center field. Hey, when you work quickly and throw strikes as a pitcher, you're going to get those plays. And Denny, you know that very, very well. If your pitchers have a good pace, your defense is that much better.
I know Denny Hocking is used to playing all those years in Minnesota, but let me just say, I'm glad I brought this little sweater here. It got a little chilly late. Huh? I was a little bit like, I don't know if I was nervous about the game or just freezing. It's like 58 degrees. I got to warm up. I got to toughen up, guys. We'll send it back to you in the studio. Let's take it home. Let's keep it going. 6 in a row.
That's right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Let's hear it.
We
Come
appreciate
on.
that. And they talked about the way that Taylor took off his hat. I mean, he's a Fresno State Bulldog, right? So Central Valley, like he had ridden a bull and just scored a 99, the confidence that he has now. He's also from out in India, so he knows a thing or two about a cowboy hat. Ohtani, too, following it up. So now you've got Ward hitting .404 now on the season after 3 more hits and the home run on the second pitch of the game. And Ohtani with another impressive multiple hit game.
Mark Gubicza did an incredible job of talking about Shohei Ohtani's lower half on that swing for the home run. The other day, he never takes BP on the field. So trying to figure out some kinks, winds up taking BP live on the field. He's changed some things, and just right here, the stability in his lower half, the 0 wasted motion allows him to really be on time, really be in sync, stay in the middle of the field. And like Gooby was talking about during the broadcast, he's gotten out of rhythm just trying to pull the baseball. Just one day simply of being on the field shows you how elite he is.
4th home run of the season. It didn't look like it, but it traveled 419 feet deep into the night. And guys remarked that was one of the first ones that he has not pulled in a while. Going oppo there with that jack. Certainly awesome tonight for Shohei Ohtani. The hitters continue to hit, but the story in this one again is Syndergaard with a stomach bug, can't go, notifies the Angels a couple of hours before the ball game, and then you give it up to Jimmy Herget and 6 other relievers, and at one point they retired 18 in a row. That kind of went under the radar here.
you know, being a bullpen day, you're hoping that it goes as scripted. So Joe Maddon's kind of piecing it together. Before the Angels even take the field on the mound, they're spotted 2 runs. You know, so that's going to give Jimmy Herget a little bit of sense of relaxation. His balls were moving like Frisbees today, wiffle balls. He was throwing some serious velo up there. He was spotting his fastball. That little sidearm delivery that he has just creates so much vertical and horizontal movement that it's tough to square him up. You know, you see the swing right there by Harrison. Hitters are going to tell you how good your stuff is.
Yep.
And tonight you really saw a career high in pitches for Herget, a career high in innings. What a great way to get this road trip off to a great start.
So you should mention this. We talked 18 in a row retired from the first inning into the 9th inning at one point. The Sox only had 3 guys get on base after the first inning. And, of course, you saw the traffic that was on the bases there in the 9th inning. And the relievers just giving up 3 hits total, but 2 after the first inning of play. Herget certainly was impressive in this one, so were the rest of the relievers. And there's another facet of this that we need to talk about, and that would be Anthony Rendon breaking out, and also the defense. I think somebody was going to call him Brooks, right? Brooks Rendon down at third. Angels win it 5-1. Angels Live is presented by OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. Angels win their 6th straight, 5-1 tonight over the Sox. The 7-game road trip that brings them to Chicago and then on to Beantown to take on the Red Sox is off to a good start. Back in the studio alongside Denny Hocking. Steve Quis, thanks for making us part of your Friday evening here on Angels Live. So we've talked about Ohtani and Ward and what the relievers did in this one. The unsung hero might be Anthony Rendon, and if you were with us on the pregame show, we said he loves hitting on the south side of Chicago.
The numbers he's already put up in the south side of Chicago, 318 average, some homers, feels really comfortable there. I think a lot of it has to do with the backdrop, that black backdrop that sits there in that ballpark. I think it really identifies he can see spin, just some really good passes today, quality swings, hard contact. And what did Gooby call him? Like Tony Two Bags, two doubles on the night. But when I'm talking about how good he's playing right now, it's just not on the offensive side of the baseball. It's on the defensive side as well. When you look at together his package on the defensive side, it's a range ball, backhand on the line. He made another play coming in on a ball. And then he has he had a line drive. So it's not just one play with Anthony Rendon. He's showing incredible skill, incredible range. And when he's making plays like that, it really makes me feel like he's past his injury, which has got to be exciting for Halo fans. And then, you know what helps you win games? 2-out knocks. Angels had 3 of them on the night, scored 3 of their 5 runs with 2 outs, and it just gives the team an opportunity to extend innings and just give a whole bunch of high fives in the dugout.
And the OPS has been amazing, too, late in ball games and with guys on. And there's Brooks again, Brooks Rendon with another. That exit velocity right here, 111
and
miles an hour.
You can't play this kind of elite defense unless you are actually having good pre-pitches, getting established, being able to operate and be athletic when the ball's in the hitting zone. And watching the clips right there of Anthony Rendon, phenomenal timing, not only at the plate, but also on defense when the ball's about to get hit, makes him so athletic, and it's great to see.
7 relievers could not have done what they did tonight on the south side of Chicago without the help of the defense. We talked about Rendon, but Mike Trout, too. At the plate, he got another hit. His average is up to 345, but just the amount of runs he saves by running balls down in the gap, you know, it sort of goes under the radar, does it not?
You know, ultimate zone rating, all the metrics that are involved in baseball right now. If you're taking care of the baseball, the key to this 6-game winning streak has been throwing strikes. That's on the pitchers. They've done their job. Once you're throwing strikes, the defense is ready to actually be involved in the game. They're not on their heels. Great angle, great route. And what's so impressive about this play is not the range that he has, but once he's getting close to that wall, he feels the warning track underneath his feet, and he's so calm to go to get this ball. Gets a little bit turned around on this ball, 115 off the bat, but just the calmness he has and able to get back there. And when you've got that kind of calmness, you can have conversation with the fans. You know, and I've been in that ballpark. I know those guys are screaming, you know, you got to let that fall. And Trout's like, come on, are you kidding me? Got some gold out here for you.
How would that have played out at Yankee Stadium on Sunday when the Guardians were there?
Probably not very well.
Yep.
You know, but they're a little bit more mature right there.
He would have probably got a light beer on his head right there and said it was a very big out. Well, Shohei Ohtani gave those fans out there a souvenir with a 419-foot opposite blast, his 4th of the season, part of a 2-home-run first inning. Still more to unpack when we return on Angels Live.
Formulaic. I mean, we set it up, Hergé to go to Warren, and then I was going to let Warren go off for another inning, but the inning was so long that I don't like guys sitting around that long. That
Halos win their 6th consecutive game. The road trip off to a terrific start. 7 relievers in this one limit the White Sox to just 1 run after Noah Syndergaard has a little bit of a stomach bug and has to be scratched late. It was Jimmy Herget there with the 3 innings and tried to talk himself into a 4th. I'm not sure it was on the broadcast, but you noticed, Danny. Right.
It was so funny. He was coming off the field, and Matt Wise, the pitching coach, was sitting there on the phone letting Austin Warren know, hey, you're coming in this game.
Right.
And he was trying to plead his case. He's like, no, I got more. And Joe's like, easy, we got enough out of you. There's more games this season. But I love it, his competitive nature, to be able to sit there and go, I want more.
So Joe Madden woke up probably on Miracle Mile this morning thinking, oh, this is going to be easy, right? Syndergaard, his 4th start of the year. Then he gets the word that he's going to have to go with an opener. And after the ball game, we were able to listen in on Joe Madden's post-game thoughts.
It was kind of formulaic. I mean, we set it up, Hergé to go to Warren. And then I was going to let Warren go off for another inning, but the inning was so long that I don't like guys sitting around that long that are not used to it. So we went to Bradley. Did a wonderful job, and then et cetera, et cetera. A little trouble there at the end. They hit batter because I thought Myers was throwing the ball really well. He was throwing the ball really well. Anderson, good hitter, just tried to poke it that way, and he did. The hit batter created all the stress. It did, but Iggy was available, and that was a difference in the game. But came out, punched him early. That was big also because Giolito was outstanding. Outstanding. There's no other word for him. He's outstanding. They got a very good lineup, even in spite of the fact that they're missing some guys, but. Our bullpen guys, man for man, did a great job.
Ohtani, when he's hitting the ball to center, left center, are those all signs that he's becoming?
He's not pulling off the ball. When he's doing that, when he's getting a rollover grounders, that's never a good sign. When he's hitting the ball hard back to the middle, that's always a good sign.
What more can you say about Ward? 3 hits including the leadoff home run.
How about it? The first swing he took was an outstanding swing, and then I think it was a hanging breaking ball maybe on the second one, or a slider, but he keeps doing it. Quality at bat after quality at bat. Up and down the lineup, though, I mean, Anthony looks really good. A couple doubles again. Walshy, the left-handers are getting him right. He's starting to hit the lefties better than the righties right now, and that's always a good sign for a left-handed hitter. Sometimes they get a little bit screwed up, and then they get back together by facing left-handed pitching. I've seen it happen before. Fletch looked good. The doubles down the left field corner. Yeah, and that was really nice to see. But our defense was superb. The play Anthony made. How about the throw? Trotty ranging in center field. Up the middle, everything about it. It was just a really well-played game on our part.
You need a rain out tomorrow? Do you have any pitchers
left? We have a couple that I didn't cross out today. As of right now, you got Wance, Ortega, Barria. I can say that one more time. We have and the starters. So we'll see. I definitely was looking at the weather report. I was, no lie. I was thinking about it during the game. When you get a chance to win a game, you win a game. And then you worry about tomorrow when it occurs. Now, you know that it could rain, but I've been here before, and it could change quickly, too. If the lake starts deciding to push it away, it'll push it away. And all of a sudden we're playing.
Joe, going back to Ohtani, do you think you saw the benefits of him taking the day off yesterday?
Yeah. He looked good, obviously. I can't tell you. I don't know how he felt inside. He looked really good. I put him in a 4-hole because of Trotty being so hot. And I thought he was the only guy that could afford mic protection. But I thought he looked good. I think he's been looking good overall. From my perspective, he keeps getting better every day.
They need a little ghost of Crash Davis tomorrow to rejuvenate the pitching staff, right? Get the rain out. And who knew that in order to manage in the big leagues, you have to be an amateur meteorologist? Traffic and weather together on the sixes here, Danny Hockey.
Everybody talks about Mike Trout and his ability to be able to predict the weather, and all you got to do is just ask Trouty in the dugout. What's interesting is every time I listen to Joe, he brings up a different word. He talked about formulaic, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then as he starts to talk about it, you're like, he's putting stuff down on paper. He's putting thoughts of himself on paper, just going, this is how I want this to come out. And then Herget goes out, and then Warren goes out, and then he gets to the bridge guys, the guys that he really wants in those high-leverage situations, and it just works out perfectly. But I think he ran that bullpen tonight knowing that they're going to get rained out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just a hunch.
Well, I mean, and he's, as you mentioned, the godfather of this. He put together the opener thing when he was in Tampa Bay all those years ago. I'm not sure it ever worked to perfection like it did here tonight. And it certainly helped that they had some insurance runs late in the ball game. There were some manufactured runs because, boy, there was some trouble in the ninth inning for that Pen, despite how good they did pitch.
You know, Joe had talked about it in the postgame right there. When he's staying on balls and not rolling over balls, he's able to use his hands, stay in the middle of the field, winds up getting on base. And then, of course, can't forget about his speed. When you force the defense by being aggressive on the bases, you're going to force them into mistakes. They haven't been taking care of the ball so much this year, and it just comes out again. And this at-bat right here with Walshy, left on left, I think it's just going to give him even more confidence. And watching that at bat live, what I really noticed was the attention to detail, trying to get his foot down early, burying his head at contact. And then Velasquez, you know, it's not easy to hit in the big leagues, right? I mean, that's been well established. To sit on the bench for 7 innings, come up, take a quality at bat, get on as a leadoff guy. You force them, you're always forcing them to make mistakes, putting pressure on them. It reminds me a lot of the 0-2 team. And Fletcher winds up hitting behind Velasquez there at second base, gives Ward an opportunity. Infield has to be drawn in. Once the infield's drawn in, there's way more holes. And when you're Taylor Ward and you're hot, you can hit balls off guys' gloves for RBI doubles.
Yeah, it was a tight one. It was 2-1 until the 6th inning, and then they got runs in the 8th and 9th innings. And so now the Halos have won 6 consecutive games. They still keep their hold on first place in the AL West and get ready for a quick turnaround tomorrow. Of course, not sure what the weather is going to do overnight in the Chicago area. There could be a rainout, could force a doubleheader on Sunday, but when they come back, it'll be a 12:30 start tomorrow there. So again, that quick turnaround. And Ward, I mean, he's probably saying, get me back in the box. I want to stay hot. Angels win their 6th straight. Road trip off to a good start. Cowboy hat out many times tonight. 5-1 the final. Angels Live presented by the OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. 6 straight wins for the Halos, and they'll go for a 7th here in less than 24 hours. And the Angels beat the White Sox ace tonight in Lucas Giolito And looks like they beat Cleveland's ace earlier this week at home in Shane Bieber. And now you're going to face a back-of-the-end rotation guy. Maybe take your cuts against Vince Velasquez. Jose Suarez will go on the bump for the Halos.
Velasquez 0-2 on the year. Looking at Suarez, pitches much better on the road than he does at home. At least that's the information we got. And so when you're looking at tomorrow's matchup, you really got to like the favor of that as far as the Angels go.
Need 7 out of him tomorrow.
You need a quality start from him tomorrow.
You do.
Yes.
Yes, because there's not a lot of guys left. You heard Joe kind of go through the list, and then after 2 or 3 names, he was like, yeah, we maybe we do need that Crash Davis to come and get us a rain delay tomorrow, or rain out.
And that's where you look at him really focusing on the weather. And if you look at the guys that threw today, Iglesias, Myers, and Loop, Tepera, Bradley, all those guys that are going 1 inning need pretty much 1 day off. So a rain out tomorrow gets that fresh bullpen up for a Sunday. Even though it could potentially be a double header, you're still going to have a fresh pen. So it's going to work out in the Angels' favor one way or the other.
Trying for a 7th consecutive win. I know it's early. It still would be a season high for the 2022 season. But boy, this team is on a roll right now. And the relievers, the defense, the hitting, everything working in concert right now. And that's why the Angels have won 6 consecutive games, looking for a 7th tomorrow. They win game 1 of this 3-game series against the White Sox, 5-1 on the south side here tonight. For Denny Hocking, I'm Steve Quis, our great crew. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow bright and early with Angels Live. Good night, everyone.